Continuing education knows that at the end, students want to graduate, and we can help them do that because we take the time to really listen to their needs and we understand all the different options that are available across the campus for them.
We don't take a cookie cutter approach. We realize each student comes with their own story. So whether it's a part-time student looking to complete a degree program or someone just looking for online courses, we're there to connect them to the resources of the university.
Affection up in his wife, who died, but how you a real service to the community and all that you do, but how you best take low, because everybody that say they're your friend ain't. Now that's what they say.
Ooh, they say an awful lot, don't they?
Old Mac getting out soon, ain't he, Miss Lonnie Mae?
Mm-hmm. Less than a year, Broom Man, but that is not soon enough. I sure could use some help around here. This place is running down by the minute, and we being evicted in less than 6 months. So I got to get my new shops and new homes.
Shops?
Is that what I said? Mercy me, I meant shop. But me and Mac, we do have plans.
I suspect you've been missing them these 5 years. Hard to get along with somebody for a year. Mighty hard for 5.
I guess. Look at this place. That girl ain't have sweep and put things back where they belong. Either she cleans and don't straighten up, or she straightens up and don't clean. If I could find somebody that could keep this place in order.
Fine? He's standing right in front of you.
Who?
Me, woman. I can clean and straighten up.
Broom Man. Now, I could have a dead elephant lying right over there in the corner, and you'd walk over him till he started to stink.
Miss Lonnie Mae, I might be blind, but I ain't did for disorderly.
I've made some foolish mistakes in my life, but I ain't never hired a blind man to clean up behind me.
Well, it wouldn't be as much cleaning up as straightening up. I know where everything's supposed to go, and I keep it that way. I bring some order into your life. Then whatever cleaning I don't get to, that little girl of yours can do it. It wouldn't be much size. I'm good at fixing things. Bicycle, doors, toys, old motors, broken hearts. I'm broken enough to know how to fix them. Miss Lonnie Mae, let me level with you. My bones tell me it's gonna be a hard winter coming pretty soon. I'm gonna need to be inside as much as possible because I don't like no cold weather. No sirree. I've been whooped by my mama and the police, but neither one of them is worse than being out in the cold. Must be that thin African blood in me.
How long will it take you to memorize the order of things around here?
3 days. I break everything down into 3. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Look, I ain't up for another sermon, Broom Man. You done gone from whoremongering to preaching in less than a minute. Just give me your price and we'll see what that is. $5 a week or $1 a day. I need my waste baskets emptied twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon, except on Saturdays when I need them emptied 3 times a day. I use Lysol on my combs and Pine Sol on my bowls. I expect you to be here on time, and I don't pay for overtime. I run a business, not a Lonely Hearts Club. My clientele are women and not men. If men come around here looking for dates, I send them around there to Hattie Mae's. She runs the whorehouse, not me. I run a business, but not that kind. I don't allow no cussing, drinking, picnicking, babysitting, or soliciting in my business. This is a beauty shop, not a beer garden, malt stand, funeral home, or old folks home. Just in case you're thinking about inviting some of your old friends over to sit around and chat with you from time to time. I want them to feel, when these ladies come in here, I run a first-class operation. That's why it's called the cotillion. When they look like debutantes, even Hattie Mae's girls, because they pay their money like everybody else, even better. I expect you to start tomorrow. You got any questions?
No, ma'am. I reckon you covered just about everything, and then some.
Well, that's good. That's the way I like it.
You won't regret it, Miss Lonnie Mae. I'll show you. You'll see straighten it up like you ain't never seen before. Hell, I ain't seen before. I forgot myself that quick. Where do these stairs lead to?
To my supply room.
Do you need...
No. I keep my supply room in order myself. Now, good day, Broom Man, and I'll see you tomorrow.
You never said...
9:30 sharp.
Always a step ahead, ain't you, Miss Lonnie Mae?
No, bro, man, I'm just a black cat on time waiting for my early bird.
There is a knock on the door, but before Lonnie Mae can get to it, Mae Catherine has already let herself in. Mae Catherine is an attractive, slightly overdressed school teacher. Always in a hurry, she is loaded down with books and an oversized pocketbook.
Lonnie Mae, girl, good morning. How you doing, blue man? I just dropped by on my way to school to get you to look at my hair. You see this big old thing right here falling out? You see that spot right there?
Where, Mae Catherine?
Looks pretty good to me.
Thanks, blind man. You mean to tell me you can't see this big spot in the back of my head? By the way, I heard Max counting down the days till he gets out. Probably won't be seeing you once he does. Miss him, don't you? I know you do.
We got a lot of business to catch up on.
Honey, I bet you do. I hear that, brew man. You hear that? Business.
Hear no evil, see no evil.
You ain't no fun, brew man. How long before?
6 months.
That's not a long time at all. Is his wife still up in that crazy house in Boulevard?
Haven't heard and don't care to.
You ain't much for conversation this morning, are you?
My mind is on business. Got my eviction notice yesterday. This building's coming down in 6 months, and I got to find a new home and beauty shop.
There's more to life to business. Lonnie Mae.
If it is, the Lord never told me about it. One day, I hope to have so many beauty shops in this city. We got as many as we got colored high schools, one for every school that trains beauticians.
Good for you, but that ain't got nothing to do with my hair falling out. You see it? That spot's been here before since the last time I came here.
Now, Mae Catherine, if you recall, the spot was there last week when you walked through the same door to get your hair pressed after I hadn't seen you in a month. I told you then it was going to take a while to fill that spot in, didn't I?
You sure did.
Somebody used some strong chemicals on your head. You can still get that pack to build your hair back up. It's only $7.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that, Lonnie Mae. As soon as I leave them little knuckleheads.
Knuckleheads? Mae
What?
Catherine.
What? Knuckleheads? I ain't mean nothing by that.
You must. You said it. It's bad enough our colored children got to go to get secondhand books, secondhand desks that the white schools don't want and make it something special, just so they can survive in this world while trying to hold up their heads. But to be thought of as knuckleheads by their own colored teachers is something I cannot understand.
Lonnie Mae, I don't get paid to raise nobody's children. I get paid to teach. And the first thing you learn as a teacher is you can't save everybody. Oh God, and I'm late. You just can't. You got to know who you can and know who you can't and move on. You ought to understand that. You can't make everybody that walk through this door look as glamorous as Dorothy Dangerous or Lena Horne, no matter how hard you try.
She got the perk there, Miss Lonnie Mae.
You just can't. You be curling, cutting, patting on these heads till Judgment Day, but still wouldn't help. You can't help everybody. Lord, I got to go.
Yes, you can. You can always leave them better than when they came through that door. Whether you're a teacher, preacher, politician, or prostitute. If you can't leave them any better than you found them, then you may as well leave the profession. Even Hattie Mae's girls know that. One of her girls the other day called Lil Bit, the one your brother Smitty left his wife for. She sat right here in this chair before she and Smitty moved to Detroit and told me, Miss Lonnie Mae, you'd be surprised at all the men who just want to talk. Black and white, just talk.
Lonnie Mae.
Maybe they just need a compliment from somebody, anybody. It would be better than coming from somebody who said they loved them. Hell, call the kid a genius, a brain. Pretty soon he'll start to act like one. It wouldn't make him any worse, or better yet, tell somebody else that the kid is smart, and people will start looking at him differently. And if they think he's smart, he'll start to act smart.
Lonnie Mae, you too sensitive.
That's why I wouldn't send my kids to a public school.
Your children are different, Lonnie Mae.
Why? Because everybody knows I'd kick some teacher's butt for calling my son or daughter out of their name?
Ooh, wait, hang on. Did you see the colored bus driver? Ain't he something?
I reckon I'll be going for the third time.
Fourth time. See you in the morning, Broomman.
Hold on.
Now, what about that colored bus driver?
Hold on, Broomman. I'm leaving. I saw you got some brooms I might want to get on credit till I get paid on Friday. Honey, you mean to tell me you haven't seen that cute bus driver passing by your shop last week?
Deidre, Lonnie Mae's 12-year-old daughter, enters the shop from the back, pulling up her school uniform. He sure is fine. How you doing, Aunt May Catherine? Broom Man?
What?
I mean, Mr. Broom Man?
Now that's better. And what you know about who's fine and who ain't fine?
Oh, Mama.
Look, young lady, you're getting too fast, you understand me? That's another reason I got you in that Catholic school, so boys wasn't the only thing on your mind.
Come here, baby. Give Aunt May Cat a big hug.
Lord, another cat?
Don't mind Mama. It's just her time of the month. But Aunt Cat know. You know a fine man when you see one, 'cause your body's starting to tell it. Look at it, ain't it precious?
May Catherine, you done gone too far and stayed too long. That's enough.
Gonna have a nice little girl shape too, just like your mama. I'm gone. Come on, blind man.
She heads toward the door, hugging Deidre. Broom Man follows. The sound of a bus captures Deidre's attention. Suddenly, she rushes to the door and screams.
What is it?
It's him, look!
A colored bus driver. Isn't that something?
Yeah, a colored bus driver, just like a colored teacher. Late. That bus was due here 5 minutes ago. He was probably somewhere chewing the fat, just like you. And maybe even talking about you.
About me?
Telling his buddies about some fine young teacher who waves to him every morning. And if he's like most men, by now you two have been up to the Lorraine Motel for the past couple of weekends.
That dog. Come on, Brew Man. You just can't trust men nowadays. Oh, women. I saw him first.
Lonnie Mae waves her off as if she's not interested and returns to her chair. May Catherine and Broom Man exit. Deidre returns.
Deidre, where's your brother? He should be ready to leave out with you this morning.
Still bathing in that cologne Aunt May Catherine gave him.
Did you eat?
Yes, ma'am. Why do we call Miss May Catherine Aunt, Mama?
Because I've been knowing her since I was a kid right out of Sunflower County.
But why do we call her Aunt?
Because she reminds me so much of your Aunt Justine, who died some years ago.
How did you say she died?
She got hurt in a real bad accident and bled to death.
And where did it happen?
Deidre, get your brother and get out of here so you two can catch that bus.
Paul enters from the back. He is wearing a red bandlawn shirt, black peg-leg high-water trousers, black shoes, red nylon socks, and dark shades. He looks like the missing temptation. He is cool.
What's the hurry, Murray? Give me some skin, Gwen.
My name is not Gwen, you stink.
Stink.
Honey, you're supposed to attract the girls, not smoke them out.
Is it too much?
Yes, and it smells awful, too.
I wasn't talking to you.
So?
So your dirty drawers and wash them out in alcohol.
Mama, did you hear Paul?
All right, Paul.
Paul taps his fist on his nose as if he's going to bloody her nose. Deidre taps her fist on her eye as if she's going to give him a black eye. Paul taps his fist to his lip. Deidre flips him the bird.
Girl, where did you... Mama!
Yes?
Paul, still in shock, motions to expose Deidre, but reconsiders. Deidre sees one of her dolls on a little table, picks it up, and starts playing it with it as if nothing happened.
Yes, Paul?
When are you gonna buy that car so I can drive to school?
Well, I'm working on something pretty big, but you gotta keep it under your hat.
You win big at the dog track? Schoolboy daddy did?
No, I haven't said anything about the dog track.
Well, what is it?
It's our secret, okay? You don't want to jinx it.
I bet it's going to be a restaurant.
A restaurant? Restaurants are all over the place.
Except for colored people.
In our neighborhoods, there are
Name one.
the 1 minute.
Be quiet. I'm not talking about a restaurant.
Paul licks his tongue out at Deidre. Deidre motions as if she's going to flip him out. Paul gives her a look that says, "You better not," and Deidre reconsiders.
I'm talking about a string of beauty shops all over this city.
Beauty shops. Where?
In each part of the city, starting out with 4.
Mr. Max gonna help you out with them when he gets out?
Probably.
Everybody know he has money. I figured since you two were friends, he'd probably help you out when he got out. If that's what you wanted him to do.
Paul, you 15, right? Now.
16, Mama.
16. Ooh, you know, I was 14 when I landed in Memphis. Paul, we gotta talk
About what?
about life.
I talked to schoolboy. He knows a lot. His brother Bojack in the joint.
That's nothing to be proud about. A schoolboy might be mature for his age and all that, but he's still only in high school.
The bus is coming. I forgot my beanie.
I just don't feel comfortable talking to my mom about some things.
Like them things you carry around in your billfold.
Deidre!
They dropped out one day.
Girl?
Paul, I've been over that road you're trying to travel. You can talk to me about anything, and you don't have to lie to me ever. That goes for you too, Deidre.
Yes, ma'am.
And when Matt gets out of jail, you can talk to him too.
Deidre returns, still seething. Paul gives her the evil eye. Paul grabs his books. Lonnie Mae pulls him aside and looks into his eyes.
Don't forget, you can talk to me about anything, anything.
Yes, ma'am.
She walks them to the door and hugs and kisses them. They exit. She returns back into the shop, and Deidre re-enters. Mama,
What?
who was that girl leaving the shop this morning?
What girl?
The girl I saw leave.
Her. Somebody, I had to give her a quick touch-up.
That early? She looks sick.
She was fine. Now, shoo, get on that bus.
Mama!
I love you.
I love you too. A happy Deidre rushes through the door.
Have a nice day at school. And mind your teachers, and try to be more like Sally Mae's daughter, Steen.
Mama, please. She thinks she's such a fox. Lonnie Mae waves and strolls back into the shop. A smile appears on her face as she inspects her domain. A 13-year-old, timid, frightened Linda walks into the beauty shop unnoticed. She is 3 months pregnant and beginning to show. Lonnie Mae turns and is startled to see her.
How long have you been standing there?
I just walked through the door.
You know, it's not nice to listen to other folks' conversation.
No, ma'am, I wasn't listening. Really, I just came in. I was raised better than that.
Well, what is that stomach about?
I don't know. I made a mistake.
Whatever a child is, it is not a mistake. A burden, maybe, but not a mistake. At least not as long as you can erase it. I know because I live with 16 other burdens in Mississippi. The mistake would have been to stay and burden some child of mine with 16 brothers and sisters. How old are you?
14. At least, I will be on my next birthday.
And when is that?
Just around the corner.
When?
July.
Child, this is only September. Girl, quit lying. You 13. You and your little fast butt got pregnant because you wouldn't listen to your mama.
Mama's dead.
Then your aunt.
They're in Arkansas.
It was somebody, your daddy.
It's his baby. She breaks down in tears. Lonnie Mae is shocked at the words.
Come on, child. When it rains, it pours.
Lottie Mae helps Linda to her feet, and they head towards the back room. Blackout. Act 2, Scene 2. It is Saturday. Act 2, Scene 2. It is Saturday morning at the Cotillion radio station. WDIA is heard over the hum of conversations throughout the shop. It is a very busy day. Broom Man is straightening up and having a conversation with Paul at the same time. May Catherine is hot and comes from under the dryer fanning herself. Her head not completely dry, she picks up a towel, wraps her head, and sits in a chair, fidgets. The coasters, yakety yak, comes to a close and segues into a conversation between two disc jockeys and natural-born comedians Rufus Thomas and Nat D. Williams.
Where you been, Rufus? I heard you had to go out of town.
I had this dream, and the Lord said you have to go see your sick aunt in Sumner, Mississippi.
Oh, yeah? So what did you do?
Well, the Lord said you better be careful down there in Mississippi. And I said, Lord, I want you to take me down there to Mississippi and stay with me.
Well, what happened then, Rufus? Did the Lord take you to Mississippi?
Well, Nat, the Lord said, I'll take you as far as the state line, but from there, you're on your own.
That Rufus ain't got the sense he was born with.
That's because he wasn't born with any. And if I know Rufus, he probably don't want none in it now. What you and Paul talk about all the time?
That's twixt him and me.
Probably something about girls. What you know about women, broom man?
Now that could be twixt you and me, if you care to find out.
I don't know what you talking about, broom man. Besides, I'm not in the nursing home business.
That's a shame. I could use a good wet nurse.
What's the matter? You too old to eat solid food?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Good. I wonder where Lonnie Mae is. I know it doesn't take her that long to get something to eat.
That's right, don't start until you can't finish.
That colored bus driver, bro, man. What you think a man with that kind of class looks for in a woman like me?
May Catherine, you a school teacher. You should know about manners in class and all that stuff.
You mean, sorry.
I think any man, including a man with class, is looking for the same thing in a woman.
You mean class?
Yeah, class, without the CL.
Bro, man, I knew you'd come up with something like that. My goodness. I think my friend might be a little sweet on him, too.
Who, Lonnie Mae? Nah.
She a woman, ain't she? Now, I might laugh, joke, and drink a little Coke, but when it comes to my man, I don't play. Give me some skin, friend.
Lonnie Mae holds out her palm to Broom Man, who stands slightly behind her. He raises his hand, and it is obvious that he is about to miss her hand and hit her butt.
Don't be no fool, bro, man.
Well, you know I can't see.
The problem is that you see too much.
May Catherine crosses to another chair in the shop, leaving Broom Man still, holding his hand in midair. He slowly lets it drop.
How much you know about him? Lee.
Well, he told me he grew up in Chicago with his talented 10 rich kids and couldn't hardly wait to get away from them. He can track his folks all the way to the Indians, the Irish, and the Africans. And the ones from Chicago know the ones in Brooklyn, who know the ones in D.C., and they all know the ones in Memphis.
Old money, old colored money.
And the people he knows and the places he's been, he's even dated Lena Horne's daughter.
House niggas, some weren't even slaves before the Civil War. You had to free the northern blacks, free southern blacks, and the favored slaves. Make Catherine all Negroes ain't poor, and some of them like the Walkers, the Horns, and the Churches have had money for a while.
I know that, Brew Man, but to see it up close and to hear those summer stories homes about their trips to Europe.
Black bourgeois, old lead bellies didn't have too much good words to say about them.
Yes, but his daddy taught him how to be a man and how to work with his hands. He even taught him how to box. But Lee got tired of that East Coast and he decided to come south. He said he applied for the bus driver job because he heard that there weren't any colored bus drivers in the city. And he got the job. He said the main problem with the Negroes in the South is that they're all afraid to ask. But he says he still likes it much better than they do up north.
People are warmer, friendlier.
That's what he said.
He's right.
But he still seems restless and doesn't seem satisfied.
He's seen too much, done too much, had too much good food, good fun, and good women. Not to keep looking for more, and he's still young.
You know he's crazy about children.
That's because he ain't got none.
Actually, he had a little boy who got hit while riding a bicycle.
Mercy, Jesus.
He blamed his wife for not watching, and his wife blamed him for buying a bicycle.
So they blamed each other out the marriage.
They did.
So how did he end up in Memphis?
After the divorce, he just traveled the country, met Jimmy Lunsford in New York, and Lunsford told him that he was from Memphis and that they had the finest women he'd ever want to meet there.
Nothing takes a man's mind off of grief like a fine woman.
Amen.
Then he's got more grief.
Not with this fine woman. No, sirree, not this fine woman. I'll make sure I give him everything he wants but grief.
Good gracious of life.
And ready to give him some children, too, as soon as he slip a ring on this finger right here.
You mean as soon as you slip it right through his nose?
Whichever comes first.
Well, I wish you both the best. A man that crazy about children should have his quivers full.
What's quiver got to do with anything, bro, man?
Well, it's in the Bible, Miss Catherine. Never mind.
I wish Lonnie Mae would come on. I need to get my ends clipped. Like, where is she? I need her to be so I can be on my way. You ever play the blues, bro, man?
No, and I ain't been called to preach either.
I never said anything about preaching.
No, but it was going to be your next question. Folks figure if you're blind, you either sing the blues or you preach, and I don't do either.
Well, excuse me for asking. My goodness.
Mind if I ask you for ask you something?
Yes, I do. I already know what it is.
Broomman laughs. Deirdre and Lonnie Mae enter with bags of food. Old lady enters behind them. Old lady is about 65 years old. She removes her coat and sits in the chair for Lonnie Mae to do her hair.
It's about time. Well, what you know? Me and the owner arrive at the same time. How's everybody doing?
Have some food.
No, thank you.
Much obliged, but no, ma'am.
Deidre, get your work done and then you can eat.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I had to run down to the 1 minute. Haven't had anything to eat all day.
Deirdre fetches the broom and begins to sweep. Lottie Mae begins to work on old lady's head. Deirdre accidentally sweeps old lady's foot.
Honey, don't sweep the lady's foot.
Oh, that's all right, baby. You're doing a great job helping your mama out and all. One day you're going to have this beauty shop yourself.
No, ma'am. I decided I'm going to manage all the ones my mama's going to open up.
Mrs. Oakwood, you can't pay any attention to what children say. They're liable to say anything. That's why they get a lot of whippings, because they always talking.
Well, when you do open up those shops, I got relatives who love to go to a nice clean place to get their hair fixed where they won't burn your hair out like they did May Catherine.
May Catherine can't hear under the dryer. Old lady smiles and waves at May Catherine. May Catherine smiles and waves back.
Yes, ma'am. May Catherine, you know she had no business going over there to Velma to get her hair fixed. Why are you her friend?
Old lady waves to May Catherine and smiles.
Yes, ma'am, you're right. Velma ain't never did nothing for May Catherine, except took her money, burned her hair up, and left her all bald-headed. But Lonnie Mae has been a true friend, even helped her at the last teaching job at that school. Lord knows I never get involved with other folks' business, but I know how Lonnie Mae helped to bring May Catherine's ass, excuse me, I didn't mean to say that, little Deidre, all the way up from Midnight, Mississippi. Lonnie Mae, she's been a true friend. And even more than that, my favorite nephew got shot in the same very place. I don't know, I don't hold no grudges, no siree, not against Lonnie Mae, because she's a God-fearing woman, hallelujah. And the Lord's gonna take her of Mr. Max moving on, that dog killed Jody, but my only sister child. Lonnie Mae, this thing is burning me up. I gotta go get something to drink. I'll be right back. Anybody want anything? Yes, baby. Bring me some Levi Garrett and the one with the 3 notches on the bottom. 15 cents worth of liver cheese and a nickel pack of crackers.
Old lady reaches in her bosom and pulls out a handkerchief with the money twisted in the corner. She takes it out and gives it to May Catherine.
And that's the one with the 3 notches, not 4.
May Catherine exits. Seconds later, Paul, with dark glasses on, enters, looking slightly disheveled. He is holding his right arm loosely at his side. His right hand has a handkerchief tied around it. He tries to sneak to the back.
Good afternoon.
Evening.
Hey, Paul.
He almost makes it past everyone to the back, but old lady sees his hand.
What's done happened to your hand?
Everyone turns and looks at Paul, who is now in the spotlight and very uncomfortable.
Nothing?
Deirdre runs over, bars his way to the back, and inspects his hand and looks at his face.
Nothing. And look at his face.
Lonnie Mae comes over and removes his dark glasses. Paul's face is puffy and bruised.
Paul, you been in a fight?
Got his butt whooped too.
Only because there were 3 of them.
3 of who? Deidre, call the police.
The police? Hell, you need to call an ambulance. Don't mean no harm, just looks like he needs tending to.
I'll tend to him. I told you not to go over there to the Ritz.
They got one of the only movies for color folks in Memphis.
Why do we keep doing this to each other?
Boy, don't they teach y'all how to fight no Catholic schools?
The police say they're on their way.
Yeah, next year. Should have told them a white woman was being raped over here.
Why don't y'all let the boy talk?
I'll be all right. Let me just go to my room and wash up.
Yeah, y'all do that, child. 'Cause it smells like they threw something on him that they that they ain't been done with.
That's his cologne.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Go in the back and lie down until the police come, and I'll call you then.
Paul starts to make his way towards the back, but Broom Man catches him as he passes and puts an arm around his shoulder.
What happened, son? Tell the truth.
Broom Man, you ain't got nothing to do with this. I wish you'd leave it alone.
I'm through with it, but at least you can do is hear what he has to say about it.
He doesn't feel like talking.
Why do women think they know what men feels and never ask the man?
He ain't a man, he's a boy.
He walks like a man, talks like a man, dresses like a man, got all the tools a man got, even if he ain't found the right engine to work on. Ain't that a man?
No, and don't rush him.
Don't want to rush him, just put him on the right path. Right now he's all off to the side of the road, wandering in the weeds. Just put him on the path.
Broom Man, I know how to raise my son.
I ain't saying you don't. I'm just saying it's hard to see the forest for the trees.
I ain't talking about no trees. I'm talking about flesh and blood, mine. And you would do best to stay out of my business.
Paul exits.
Honey, he'll be all right. Boys gets into fights all the time.
May Catherine enters and gives old lady her package. Seconds later, Deirdre runs to the window and screams.
Ah, look, it's him. It's the colored bus driver walking down the street.
What the?
Deidre, are you a fool? You almost scared us to death.
I almost lost my water.
May Catherine calmly goes over to the mirror and prims. The ladies slowly gather at the window and look out. Lonnie Mae returns to her station. The others soon follow. Deirdre remains at the window.
He looks just like he does on the bus.
Sure do.
So what's all the commotion about then?
When a man that fine walks down Bill Street, it's bound to cause some commotion. especially amongst us women who ain't been with a man in a while. Ain't that the truth, Lonnie Mae? I wonder what his name is. Lee Thomas?
Of course I know his name. He's eligible, isn't he?
What else do you know?
He saved your son's life. Or worse, butt whooping.
What?
Paul was in a fight with some white boys.
White boys?
What in the world?
I can't believe it.
Yeah, on Lee's bus route. Lee saw it and broke it up.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
He said Paul was quick with his fist, though. Wasn't that quick enough, by the looks of him. That boy doesn't have his eye on the back of, he doesn't have eyes on the back of his head. There were 3 of them.
Quick, huh? That's because his daddy was a boxer.
So long ago, but boxing couldn't save him from a bullet in Korea. But what happened to Paul?
When he boxed, you heard his jabs throughout the whole damn auditorium. Excuse me, ladies. Golden Glove champion. I knew Paul had it in him. Could hear it in his voice and feel it in his handshake.
He doesn't want to be a boxer, bro, man.
Woman, he ain't got to be.
He won't.
That's the best way to make sure he will.
How's that?
Tell him he won't.
Stay out of this, bro, man.
May Catherine pulls notebook from her pocketbook.
Lee gave it to me to give to him. Besides, his girlfriend Jackie's name is all over it, so it must have some sentimental value.
Jackie? What part of the route was this?
Near Hume's High? There's some rough hoochies out there. And some po ones, too. Worked all day for a lady once, and all she gave me was a rooster. Well, I was so mad I wrung that rooster's neck right there, right in the front of her yard. She thought I was pulling a hex on her. So she give me the wedding ring. So she give me that wedding ring right off her finger, just to get me away from there.
Oh, lady, please. I've been trying to find out what happened. Now, what was he doing over there, May Catherine?
I don't know.
Don't sound good to me.
Mama, what we got to eat?
Crow, if you don't hurry up and do some explaining.
Paul spies his notebook in May Catherine's hands, does an about face, and heads to the back.
Never mind. I'll eat later.
Wait a minute, mister. What were you doing out there by Hume's? I'm listening.
Well, it's not too far from the colored neighborhood. A street and some railroad tracks is the only thing that divides them.
May I ask my son a question?
Excuse me.
What were you doing over there in that neighborhood?
I was on my way to Manassas to see this girl, and I went to sleep on the bus and missed my stop. So when I woke up, I was near Hume's. I started walking to Manassas, and these white boys jumped me. And that's it.
Why didn't you tell me that at first?
You didn't ask me. You kept talking.
Just like a woman.
Well, when were you going to tell me? When the police came?
May Catherine hands him the notebook.
See what I told you?
And why haven't we heard about this Jackie girl? And why do you have to go all the way over to Manassas to find a girl? Don't they have nice girls at the school where you are?
Them Catholic girls don't have enough fire, do they, boy?
Ain't what I heard. Heard they ain't nothing but fire. They might wear blue and white, but what's underneath is flaming red.
Well, I haven't heard that.
Didn't mean no harm, just saying what I heard. Besides, I know little Deidre will be different.
Is different. What's taking the police so long?
This here?
Call them again, Deidre. Mister, you can go back into your room until the police come. And I'd like to meet this Jackie and her folks.
Well, we probably won't be seeing too much of each other anymore.
Why's that?
Because...
Because what?
Because she stays too far, and because...
And because you lying. get your lies straight. And then, when we going to see this Jackie, who this Jackie is and what makes her so special and that you got to run all the way to North Memphis to see her.
There he goes, that fine bus driver. Goodbye, tall, handsome, dark stranger. Not as long as I'm around.
I think I'm going back to the 1 minute. Now I'm feeling a little thirsty, and I forgot to get somebody something.
I bet you did. By the way, Lee asked if he could shape you up, if you shaped up men's hair, but I told him no.
Good.
But as a favor to me, you would. I told him I set up his appointment on the day that I would be there. Thursday at 3 p.m., right after school. We'll be there.
That made Catherine something else.
And she's going to get exactly what she deserves, messing with Mr. Lee, I tell you. Men are some dogs. But they ain't as bad as so-called good friend. Lonnie Mae, you seen him first, didn't you? Sure you did.
It's nothing, old lady. If I took every man that walked down Beale Street, I'd be some kind of crazy by now. But of course, every man who walks down Beale Street, it don't look like that. And I did see something, and you can't say that I didn't. So, old lady, please.
Old lady. And what I tell you about his friends, first May Catherine goes to another beautician and gets her hair burned out. Then comes back up here for you to patch it up. And no sooner than that, she sits her rusted, dusty butt in this chair. She's stolen Lonnie Mae's man right out from under her. Oh, woof.
Old lady grabs her head. Lonnie Mae slams the hot comb down on the burner.
First of all, old lady, you need to keep your damn head still. It's hard enough trying to plow through this rat's nest without it moving a mile a minute, trying to keep up with your mouth.
Oh, Lord, you done burnt me.
And if you had gotten your head washed like you were supposed to, it wouldn't smell like somebody's trash burning. I burnt your ear. Well, you burn my butt every time you come in here talking that mess.
May Catherine rushes back in.
Did y'all hear the news? Did you hear it? Turn on WDIA.
What news?
Jesus, my poor ear. There's been a riot at the prison up in Nashville.
Surprised you could break away. Turn on the radio, Deidre.
LOK?
WDIA.
You just jealous.
You wish. You just man crazy.
Nah, I got something they crazy about.
You know they've been having problems up there ever since that new warden up there. I heard he's KKK and don't even hide it. Them guards just follow his lead, whooping black boys' heads as they go.
Static sounds of radio go in and out. The words colored riot, white, dangerous, governor, dead and injured are peppered throughout the dialogue amidst the static.
Shh. There's a riot.
Hush, Paul. Wait, no. Lord, I got relatives up there.
Who don't? I got 3 cousins in that hole.
Be quiet, everybody, and listen. Deidre, can't you find the station?
I'm trying.
I got a bad feeling.
Mama's got some aspirin in the sick room back there. How many you want?
No. Deidre, no. Listen, baby. Didn't I tell you never to go in my supply room without asking first? That room is where I keep my business things and my very personal things, okay? Now just get 2 aspirin out of my purse.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't need no medicine. Said I got a bad feeling, not I feel bad.
And now, News Alive at 55. I'm your reporter, Nat D. Williams.
What's the difference?
Shh.
Shortly before dawn this morning, Negro and white inmates broke into a full-scale confrontation at the Nashville State Prison. According to some reports, tensions have been brewing for some time now since Warden Sam Turner took over as director of this facility. Negro inmates have reportedly stated that they have been punished more frequently, given dangerous job assignments, and have been victims of random violence at the hands of many of the guards, as well as some of the white inmates.
The telephone rings. Lonnie Mae catches it.
Mac, son, I got a bad feeling.
Hello?
Don't go hexing nobody, blind man.
There's a knock on the door. Nobody hears.
Well, who woke up the dead?
My ear.
Our ears having to listen to you.
There is another knock at the door.
This is she. Somebody, please, get the door.
It's about time the police showed up.
Be quiet. Pardon? What? Who is Jack?
At least 10 inmates have been hospitalized, and by all reports, there are at least 4 inmates known dead or missing. Reportedly, 3 are Negroes from West Tennessee.
West Tennessee? Mac, I got a bad feeling.
Get the door, Deidre.
WDIA will do its best to keep you informed and up to date as more information becomes available.
Deirdre opens the door. Her mouth hangs open. Mac, a black man in his mid-50s, walks in unnoticed by the others. He is rubbing his chest right over his heart.
This has been News Alive at 5. I'm your reporter, Nat D. Williams.
Lonnie sees Mac and drops the phone.
What's the matter? Haven't you seen a ghost before?
Blackout. Lonnie Mae and Mac are in her bedroom. Faint church music from a nearby service finds its way into the room. Lonnie Mae has on a nightgown. Mac has on pants and a t-shirt. She pours coffee for herself. There is an awkward quietness in the air. Mac is into his own world.
More coffee?
Mac does not answer.
Mac,
Yeah, what?
you want some more coffee?
Nah, when will the kids be back?
May Catherine is going to keep them for the day. She's going to take Deidre to a movie, and I think Paul wants to see this little Jackie girl who he's been keeping a secret. Those kids are going to be the death of me yet. Look, Mac, it happens. I'm sure being locked away all that time had something to do with it. It'll be all right between us.
Will it?
Why wouldn't it be?
You tell me.
Tell you what?
Who you been seeing these past 5 years?
Only 2 people. Paul and Deidre.
Up at the wall, they got a guy called Pops. Pops did time with men who fought in the Civil War. Pops killed 2 men, when he came home and found the man he sharecropped for and his brother raping his wife and daughter. Killed him with his bare hands. But he got life. He had a good lawyer. 50 years later, the governor commutes Pops' sentence to time served. By this time, his wife has passed and his daughter had left the state with no forwarding address. So when he gets out, the first place he goes is downtown. It scared him to death. Cars, airplanes, funny clothes, women in all shapes and sizes, but it was too much for him. He sat on the curb right there at Main and Beale, cried like a baby. He kept saying, "I want to go home. Lord, please get me back home." Eventually, the warden came down and got Pops to take him back home. You see, the warden was Pops' friend.
What does that have to do with us?
Sometimes, a man can do without something or someone so long that when he gets it, it's changed so much that he doesn't even recognize it. But whoever happens to be there to help him through it all ends up being his friend. Are you a friend, Lonnie Mae?
What's all this talk about friendship, Mac? You were the first man I ever knew. When I hopped that freight in Mississippi to take me to Memphis, it was you who saved my life. You taught me things I would never known about men, about rich white people, about myself. You're the only man I've ever been with, except my husband.
That's what you say.
How can you think I'm not your friend? If it wasn't for you, I would have been crushed under the wheels of that train, but like you were battling to save me, and I was battling to hold on, to get out of the Delta, far, far away. I needed stretching room from 16 brothers and sisters, slop jars, ignorance, and my future. Mac, I held on for dear life. You pulled me into you. You saved my life.
Twice.
Mac, you didn't have to.
You say that now, but you could have come forward and said, you're putting an innocent man in jail. He didn't do it. I did it. Or hold it. Mac, I killed him, so I'll take my own rap.
I would have done the time.
You would have done the time, my ass. Anybody would have done the time now that it's done.
What do you want me to say?
Hell, there's nothing you can say now. 5 damn years of my life I sacrificed to be locked up with murderers, robbers, thieves, guards at every turn. You couldn't piss without getting permission. Many a night I lie crying in my cell, crying like a baby. Some nights I cry all night long, and I ain't ashamed. Then I said to myself, what was I doing here?
Mac.
No, you listen to me, Lonnie Mae. What was I doing here, in a prison of all places? How in the world did it come to this? Damn it, I wasn't a criminal. I was a Pullman porter. I knew what class was. I'd waited on rich white people. I was saving my money for bigger and better things in life. So what was I doing in a damn jail?
Mac.
Listen, Lonnie Mae. Then I saw him.
Who?
John the Baptist, coming through those bars with his head on that charger. I felt a chill like I was up to my neck in snow, but I was wringing wet all over, and I couldn't move. He said, I was offered up, and you have been offered up, but yours is an unholy sacrifice. Go back home. You have work to do. At that moment, I felt cleansed. I felt alive, and I wasn't afraid, but I knew what I had to do, and I started right away. It took me 3 years, but I worked every day to get out. All of those rich white folks I knew, I got them to write letters. Every preacher, every politician I knew, I got them to send a letter. It took me 3 years, but here I am, and I'm here to do his work.
And what work is that?
His work.
His work? But what is his work?
You'll see, because you've been called to help too.
No sirree, If his work ain't to open up a string of beauty shops all over this city, I wasn't called to do it.
We're gonna open up beauty shops, all right, but these shops will beautify the soul and not the vain outer coverings of the body.
Mac, you sound crazy. What about the money we put together for the business? Mac, the money we would make, we opened up shops all over Memphis, Orange Mound, New Chicago, Klondike, Binghamton. I waited too, Mac. I pinched and scraped every penny I owned that I didn't put on my children's back or on the table. And now you come back rolling in religion and walking all over my dream. It wouldn't do, Mac. It won't do. I sacrifice too.
Lonnie Mae, I need a friend for the work that has to be done.
Mac, you had a friend.
No, Lonnie Mae, I had a business partner. You had a friend.
I don't want to hear it.
What, the truth? You never cared about me, did you, Lonnie Mae? You only cared what you could get from me.
You took from me. You took my childhood.
No, it was 16 brothers and sisters that took that away from you. I gave you hope. I brought you to Memphis, helped you set up your business, found you a place to stay, helped feed you when you were hungry, let you go when you wanted to get married, took you back when your husband died, and tried to lock out the memory of my sick wife to keep you from wanting anything. I did it.
You are just weak. A weak fool who's given up because you ain't got the guts to go on. Afraid, hiding behind a religion you made up in jail because you scared. Hell, maybe I should have done my own time. I would have been much better off. Is that why you mentioned your wife, huh? You two getting back together? Well, good. That suits me fine. Two fools together. Get out, Mac. I don't ever want to see you again.
Max slowly puts his shirt on, picks up his jacket, and heads towards the door. Lonnie Mae throws a book at him, but misses. She is almost in tears.
5 years you took from me. You lied. You led me to believe that we were working for something together.
Beautify your soul, Lonnie Mae. That's the only beauty that will count in the end.
Beautify your own damn soul.
It is Friday, a week later. It is almost a holiday for Paul and Deirdre. Paul is on the phone talking to Jackie, while Broomman is repairing Deirdre's bicycle. It is obvious that Broomman is listening, but not listening to Paul's phone conversation. Lonnie Mae and Nisi, in her 20s or 30s, can be seen through the scrim like a wall, like the wall of a storage room. Nisi rises up off the bed, and Lonnie Mae gives her something to drink. She then ushers Nisi out of a rear door in the room.
Maybe. Since today's a holiday. Okay? I will. Bye.
Hey, Paul, hand me that wrench over there. Heard you was pretty handy with your fists.
Who told you that?
Color bus driver.
Yeah. Him. He talks too much.
Your daddy was pretty good, too. Thought he'd be the next Joe Louis. Fought like him, but quicker. How did that fight get started anyways?
What fight?
That fight with you and them white boys over in North Memphis.
Like I told everybody.
I ain't everybody, so tell me again. I know what you said, but I want to know the truth.
I'm telling the truth.
Well, tell me a lie then. Tell me why you wasn't happy to see that colored bus driver who saved your butt.
I gotta go.
Tell me how long it's going to take before the white police chiefs find out his daughter messing with a black boy. And tell me how long it'll be before your mama place is burned down and your ass is found somewhere in the ditch with your balls cut out and a bullet through your head. Oh, so you didn't know you was messing with the police chief's daughter? What you say? How do I know? Just because I don't see don't mean I can't think. You like everybody else. When you see a blind man, the first thing you think is he's a blues singer or a preacher, and I ain't either one.
How'd you...
I listen and I ask questions. I'm in school 24 hours a day, every day, but you? You talk too much for one thing. When you're talking to schoolboy and your other friends, you can be heard a mile away. Second, I used to work for Old Man Gray. The police chief's daddy, he's a cop too. Damn near the whole family cops. I knew that little girl before she was born, just like I knew you. Police chief used to box and he was a white Golden Glove. Yep, that's what she said. Just like your daddy boxing them Negro Golden Gloves.
But she never said her daddy was the police chief.
And run you off like all the white boys when they found out?
But I'm not gonna get in trouble.
Same thing that turkey said before Thanksgiving. This is serious, boy. They still lynching colored boys, don't you know that?
May Catherine rushes in with a large, beautifully wrapped present. She is very excited.
Where's your mother?
In her room?
So what you two talking about?
May Catherine walks toward the door leading to the back. Paul and Broomman are noticeably silent.
Lonnie Mae! Lonnie Mae!
May Catherine turns back into the shop. Lonnie Mae doesn't answer, but tidies up the room where Nisi was.
I don't think she's here.
Just a minute.
Lottie Mae picks up some aspirin and puts it in her uniform pocket and exits the room.
Hurry up. I gotta tell you something about Mr. You-Know-Who.
Well, I gotta go.
Aunt May Cat, what you got in the bag?
Just a little something for your mom's birthday. You didn't remember, did you?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, how do you like the present?
Expensive, I bet.
I just believe in getting the best.
Woman,
Have you gotten a card for your mother yet?
Well,
I didn't think you did. You and your brother signed this one. It reads like something you would say.
Deirdre picks up an attractive fountain pen from her mother's workstation and is about to sign the card. The pen catches May Catherine's eye.
Deidre, where'd you get that pen?
Mama said somebody left it over here Sunday.
Sunday? Your brother doesn't do hair on Sunday.
I know, but she gave somebody a shape up before they went to church.
And you weren't here?
No, remember me and Paul and I spent the night at your house? Then we went to church. You said you had to meet somebody there.
But?
Somebody else came by, and then she gave him a shape up.
Whoever she was, she must have been there for a while. I came by to finish straightening up before I went to church, but Lonnie Mae just shooed me away. Said she had company.
How do you know it was a woman, Broom Man?
Didn't have to be, come to think of it.
They shouldn't be too hard to find. Their initials are right here on the pen.
I know.
Well, here, take it. Maybe you and Mama can figure out who it belongs to. I've got to run over to Yvonne's house.
Now, May Catherine, don't go jumping to no conclusions.
May Catherine is in a daze.
I gave Lee this pen to take down my number. What's it doing here?
Well, maybe he got his shape up and went on to church or something somewhere else.
That's exactly what happened. Besides, I didn't ask him to come over here. You did.
But not when I wasn't around. I ain't no fool, Lonnie Mae. So why has he been avoiding me?
I don't know, May Catherine. Maybe you talk too much for your own good.
Excuse me?
You're not the jealous one, are you, May Catherine? Not you. I'm not crazy about men. I just got what men are crazy about. Actually, Lee and I got to talking about old times. He knew Charlie. They were roommates at the National Golden Gloves. Charlie used to talk about this guy named Lee, but I had no idea that it was the colored bus driver. Can you believe it? Small world.
So why didn't he get a shape up?
We just talked the time away, and before we knew it, it was time for him to go.
So what are you now, like the welcome wagon?
May Catherine, it was just a friendly conversation.
You supposed to have something that I don't have? Remember, I'm the school teacher.
Well, maybe he doesn't think babysitting and men chasing are such big deals.
I might sit him, but I don't kill him.
May Catherine.
May Catherine takes the present and cards out of the bag and throws them at Lonnie Mae's feet.
Happy birthday, bitch.
May Catherine. May Catherine, wait. May Catherine.
Lottie Mae picks up presents and cards.
So, Mac, who are you? Torment or torture?
Neither. Just a voice crying out in the wilderness.
I thought I told you and your voice not to come back here.
I came to talk to you.
I see. Torture.
No, you torture and you take life.
No, I give life.
God gives life.
Yeah, but I give life a chance. These girls and women who never had a chance for nothing because they never knew anything, never seen nothing, so they'll never be nothing. But it doesn't have to be. I give their lives a chance to grow. It's like pruning a tree. For the tree to grow, sometimes it's got to be cut back.
You're wrong.
Wrong? Because you never had to carry a baby in your belly for 9 months, not knowing how it was going to eat when it came out. Wrong because you never been raped by your uncle or a father and was too scared to tell your mother.
Listen, Lonnie Mae.
No, Mac, you listen to me. I had 16 brothers and sisters. That's not a family, that's a litter. Who can love 17 children and still love life? Every time I pull a baby out, it's like I'm sending a brother or sister of mine back where it came from.
God never brought a child into this world he couldn't feed, Lonnie Mae.
Well, you asked the children starving over in Africa.
You wasn't talking about Africa. You was talking about right here in Memphis.
Well, there's plenty of children in Memphis that go to bed hungry every night.
Well, at least the Lord wakes them up the next morning. He can't wake up a life you've taken. He's gonna punish you, Lonnie Mae.
I've already been punished. He took my husband, he took my dreams, he took my hopes, he took everything but my spirit.
You need to repent your ways, Lonnie Mae, and ask God's forgiveness.
For what? For doing my best to raise my 2 children without a father, working like a dog to make ends meet, washing, ironing, cleaning, scrubbing, and believing men's lies? No, Mac. You ask God to forgive you for keeping my dreams on hold, and ask him to forgive me for allowing you to do it.
The Lord had another plan for me, for us. It just wasn't meant to be.
What's it meant to be? That's all what all you Negroes say when you down and out and won't get off your behinds and do something for yourselves. Well, what was meant to be? The man's foot on your neck and hands in your pockets all your life and never once trying to think of a way out? Just wasn't meant to be. The Lord never said that. Today, I'm going down and take my little savings out. And tomorrow, I'm going down and pay on some more equipment and pay for the first month's rent on another space. And since you and John the Baptist don't want to have anything to do with the money, I'd appreciate it if you would go with me and sign over your share to me. Then I can take care of my own business.
Oh, no man, nothing but to love another.
So does that mean yes?
All $15,000.
What a blessing.
Or a curse.
Look, it's obvious we don't serve the same God. I know a blessing when I see it.
I'm praying for you, Lonnie Mae.
Pray for yourself, Mac, because my prayers have been answered.
Blackout. It is Sunday evening. Torrents of rain heard falling outside. The lights seem to flicker with each clap of thunder. Police lights flash and sirens squeal intermittently throughout the scene. The radio plays as Lonnie Mae sits, smiling in her chair amidst various open and unopened boxes. Deirdre strolls in from the back room and models her new dress for her mom, who is deep in thought and doesn't notice her. Deirdre clears her throat.
Ooh-wee, don't Mama's baby look gorgeous?
Did you win some money at the dog track?
No, ma'am, she didn't. But Mama will always find enough money to keep her children looking good. Mac or no Mac.
Mama, what happened between you and Mr. Mack?
Well, he was a good friend, and he is a man.
But was he your boyfriend?
Whatever Mac and I meant to each other before is over now. We don't look at life the same way anymore, and that's all I'm going to say about that until you get a little older.
But Mama, ain't he married?
Well, yes, but his wife is in real bad shape in a mental institution at Bolivar.
Who is she?
She was from a well-to-do northern colored family. They disowned her when she married a Pullman porter.
How did you and Mr. Mack?
That's the 4th police car that's been through here in the last 5 minutes. Something must be going on.
So what you think?
Oh, my baby, gorgeous. You just look gorgeous.
The boys will really like this outfit.
Hey, now listen to me. You got plenty of time for boys. Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not buying you all these clothes for your mind to be on boys. Get your schoolwork. That's more important. Then, when you're much older, you'll have the pickup boys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mama loves you.
Love you too. Wait till I show Paul.
Where is he anyway?
Probably over Schoolboy's house.
Go change your clothes before they get dirty.
Yes, ma'am. For brand new dresses.
Deirdre exits to the back. Lonnie Mae stands and walks around the shop proudly, inspecting her domain. She ends up at the window. Deirdre returns.
Well, will you look at that? The rain has slacked up.
Now can I go to Yvonne's house?
Sure, go on.
Deirdre kisses her and rushes toward the door. She stops and takes her raincoat off the raincoat rack.
See you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile, and be home by 7.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, young lady.
Hello, Mr. Broomman. I was just thinking about you.
That means one of us is going to get some good luck.
I already have. Mama just bought me 4 new outfits.
Don't I get one? I want the yellow one with ruffles. I've always been partial to ruffles.
Mr. Broomman.
That little girl of yours is something else, and she's every bit of you and more.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
It ain't got nothing to do with good or bad, it's just how it is. As is the mother, so is the daughter. Is what the book says.
You come all the way in here out of this rain to preach, Broomman?
No, Miss Lonnie Mae, I just come out to walk.
In the rain, Broomman?
Just trying to walk the haints off of me.
What ain't you talking about?
Bad spirits that won't let you rest day or night. Keep you tossing and turning, no peace of mind.
They call it broke. Most colored folks I know are troubled by them same spirits. And generally, that spirit is followed by another spirit called the bill collector. They work as a team. When you see one, you see the other.
Stop it, please, Miss Lonnie Mae.
Well, it's true.
My side is hurting. Lordy, I can't take it. The bill collector and broke are a team? Mercy. I knew if I came by here, you would talk the spirits off me. I'm gone. Woman, I declare you got the healing touch. Don't run them hints off me, Miss Lonnie Mae. You work quicker than Alphonse. Good evening.
A young lady covered from head to toe in a hooded raincoat walks in. Lonnie Mae turns just in time to see the girl drop her hood. It is Jackie, a 17-year-old white girl who is quite afraid. Lonnie Mae glances at Broomman, but realizes Broomman cannot see.
May I help you?
Jackie glances around the shop, trying to get her bearings. Broomman turns his head towards Jackie, waiting for a response.
I need to ask you a question.
Yes.
You see...
Young lady, we don't do white hair here. I'm sorry. Besides, it's Sunday and we're closed.
No, that's not why I came.
Mac, I mean, Broomman, get the door for her. Now, you be careful going back to your neighborhood. I have no idea what you're talking about, so if you don't mind, please be on your way. I have some personal business to attend to.
This is personal.
Not for me.
Well, it is for me.
Well, whatever it is, I can't help you with it.
But I've got to get rid of it.
She's right, young lady. You must be in the wrong place.
But I was told...
Told what?
I don't remember.
Look. Oh.
Jackie collapses in a chair, holding her stomach.
Get out. Right now. Broomman, we've got to get her out of here. Now.
Miss Lonnie Mae, it sounds like she's real sick.
Police sirens scream in the background.
I got eyes. I know she's sick. She's troubled, too.
Please help me, and I'll leave just as soon as it's over.
It's over now. Leave.
I don't feel very well.
Oh, now I see. Mac must be behind all of this. He's been trying to close me down. That's why the police are all around here. They came with you, didn't they?
No, I came by myself. I'm alone.
Join the club, honey. That's how we come into this world, and that's how we leave. But for now, you have got to leave here.
No, don't. Please.
When she turns toward the door, Lonnie Mae comes face to face with a wet and worried Paul. Paul grabs Jackie around the waist to support her and takes her back into the shop.
My God. No.
She's with me.
Lonnie Mae slaps Paul.
Are you crazy? Have you lost your damn mind? They're still lynching colored boys over the likes of her. No, this is not happening. No. So that's why you never invited her over. That's why you got your butt whipped. Get her out of here now.
Calm down, Miss Lonnie Mae. We've got to figure this out.
You're right, Brown Man. You take her away from here.
Me?
Well, look, we'll call a cab and get her. Right now. I'll pay for it. Call him now. Paul, you can't see her again. She's trouble.
But Mama, she's gonna have our baby.
Lord, when it rains, it pours. So what am I supposed to do?
Mama, I know about
You know about what? You don't know about.
the room. Mama, I know what it's for. I'll be 17 next month. I'm not a little boy. Didn't you think I'd find out sooner or later?
I always thought I had time. Time to tell you. Time for so much.
You still got time to help us out.
Us. There is no us, you fool. You damn fool. You've destroyed your life, my life. After all you've had going for you, you destroyed it. Oh, for what? Why? Why didn't you come and talk to me? I worked and slaved and stood on my feet all day, 6 days a week, for you to come to this? The best clothes, the best food, the best education for this? Sally's son would have never done anything like this.
Why do you always compare me to Babe Bruh? Do I ever compare you to Miss Sally? She got a husband. Babe Bruh's got a daddy.
You're right. You're right. You don't have a daddy. And I'm to blame for that, too.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You ungrateful, irresponsible dog.
Paul, son, why in the world would you ever get yourself tangled up in something like this in the first place?
No, it's my fault. Thinking I could protect them from the world. But the world found me. How could I ever think it wouldn't find him?
Paul, do something, please.
Why couldn't you go to your own?
I didn't know of any. I wouldn't have come to you if it wasn't for Paul.
Mama.
You've got to help me. I've drunk castor oil. I've scalded my stomach. I've even thrown myself down the steps, but it's still here.
So it is.
My folks would die if they knew.
Let them. Everything I worked for is dead.
I'm gonna do it for us.
Damn it! Us! It ain't no us, fool!
But we love each other.
Oh my God. We, us. Us live in two different worlds. Reverend King and them can march their shoes off. But us, hearts will never change.
Police sirens and flashing lights intensify. Dogs bark in the background. Broom Man rushes outside as the others stay perfectly still. After about 10 seconds, Broom Man re-enters the shop. Everyone except Lonnie Mae, breathless, with a sigh of relief.
The place is swarming with police. I hear them up and down the alley. They're looking for schoolboy's dad, Bojack. He escaped from the pen. Even got the dogs out searching for him. Only a matter of time before they come knocking at this door, I suspect.
It's done. I'll do it. For you, Paul.
Don't, Lonnie Mae. Your own grandchild. Blood touching blood. The book speaks about that.
Oh, stay out of this, Broom Man.
But your own grandchild. Your future.
If this child comes into the world, none of us in this room will have a future worth living. You want to know how your Aunt Justine really died, Paul? Of course you do. Don't play dumb with me now. She didn't die from no car wreck. She died from one of these, the back alley kind. Well, it wasn't in the alley, but it may as well have been because that's where they found her after the rats did. Oh, don't you dare turn away from me. Don't you turn away from me.
But I didn't ask for all of that.
Do you think Jackie asked for all of this, what she's about to go through?
I don't need a lecture.
I'm scared.
I know, baby. And you didn't ask for all that.
No, just do it and get it over with.
Oh, over with. You got a baby growing in her stomach. Do you? Paul, I'm talking to you.
No, ma'am.
Well, what do you know about getting it over with? It's just not that simple. What if I wasn't here? Where would she go? To the man who killed your aunt? The man with the room at the top of the steps soaked with pee, roaches, and rats crawling inside and outside of the place, a drunk as a doctor, a glass of whiskey in one hand, coat hanger in the other, $200. A month's worth of work she paid. And a request for a little job on her knees before she left.
Mama.
$200 worth of pain, black sticky blood and infection. She died 3 days later at John Gaston Hospital. The chaplain on duty refused to touch her when she heard how she got sick. But the day she died was the day I started learning. I figured I couldn't keep women from having abortions, but I could stop them from dying. I learned from the best and the worst, and it didn't take me long. My first patient was your Aunt May Catherine. She lived, and so did all the rest of them. Son, I have no regrets, not even for today, especially for today.
Lonnie Mae leads Jackie to the back. Paul watches until the door shuts. He turns his back to the door and walks over to the window. Lightning strikes, and he stares out at the rain as it increases in intensity. Police lights continue to swirl. The stage darkens. Broom Man sits with his head down and chin on cane. Fade to black. The end.
We're now about to go into the Talkback. For those of you who have the time to be with us, and that will be with the playwright Levi Frazier. Eli Hans. The way that CWA does feedback or questions is by a card system. Where's our card lady? Our card lady will pass out cards for you to ask of our different Talkback folk. I want to thank our readers and performers for today very much. Really do appreciate it. So if you have a question, make sure that you raise your hand, and she will come to give you a card so that you can write it down, and then we'll go from there. And for right now, just to get us started, we're going to ask our two panelists what their first reaction is to the reading today.
Very enjoyable. Testing one. Very enjoyable. I really, you don't see your work every day or hear your work every day. So when I heard it, it brought back a lot of memories. Yeah, very enjoyable. On some points that I had forgotten about actually, but yeah, enjoyed it a lot. I think they did a great job. Yeah, that's.
Great, thank you.
Well, I'm still feeling that. Are you guys all feeling what happened there? How the whole play brings that climactic ending. Everything just leads to that moment that we weren't expecting. I think you did a brilliant job at using these cleverly hidden hints about what was to come, and we don't really realize what was going to happen with Jackie and the son, right? All of those things that were hidden come culminating. So I think you did a brilliant job in doing that. You guys all did a beautiful job reading that. And what I love about theater is that it really shines a light on very difficult, sometimes difficult themes that we can't really talk about. And we don't just learn about things, but we feel things. So, and I find it really curious that you wrote this play like 30 years ago, 1993, about a time, you know, in the early 1960s, and yet how relevant is this now with what's happening in our country now? So this is a beautiful way to bring light to this topic of abortion and how it affects real human lives. So it's very relevant and current. Thank you for doing that.
So, I'm sorry I didn't introduce you guys. You have, hopefully you have one of the sheets that actually gives you their full bios. Levi has been in this work for a number of years. He's since retired, first lately from a community college, and then before that you were at University of Memphis.
University of Memphis.
And I thought you could hear me.
It might be good for the video for the recording.
Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect reason. And so this is something that Eli has done for us in the past, right here at CU's CWA, and we're really happy that we were able to bring him back. Yes, by Levi. I'm talking about Levi. And so this is really, really an important piece for us to have repeated it, if you will. And then Hans has also been, there's a very interesting word in his bio, multi-purpose entrepreneur, and so forth, and is also a writer and has been doing a number of plays which have been receiving a number of accolades, if you will, in terms of the work that he's done and going from there. So these are our two panelists. I should have told you before. And let's see, yes, I agree with you. Our first reader we have is Deborah Frazier. Brewman, Agape Petra. All right, and then next to him we have Miles Janelle, okay, who we also have. We have Yvette Rollins, who's next to him. And we have Dee Kendrick, who's right next to him. And next to him, we have our director, Julia Anderson. And our multi-purpose actress we had here, Tessa McQueen. Okay, so I have two questions here. I want to make sure I understand one of the words here. Tell us about your tears. Yes, okay. You have known the play for decades, yet it still affects you. Tell us more. That's for you, Eli, I'm sure.
No, that's for Deborah. It says
Oh,
top Deborah,
oh,
so it's for you.
yes, Deborah, okay.
Tell us about your tears. You've known about this play for years.
Is it working?
Yes. The tears are brought because when you, I had an excellent mentor in theater. His name was Lee Brewer. He was
A Negro bus driver.
no. He had a theater company in New York called Mabou Minds. And one of the things that he taught us is that you never become the person. He said, because that becomes psychological. But what you do is you say, if I were in this person's shoes, what would I do? And I look at Lonnie Mae and the struggles that she's been in, and I've been in struggles. So we would do exercises that dealt with what makes you cry? What makes you, and how do you react to that? So sometimes my husband would say, okay, are you crying for acting purposes or are you crying for real? So it all becomes one because he says we have memory. And in that memory, it tells us how we act when we are angry, how we act when we are upset. And the tears come from a place deep inside where I may find sorrow about something altogether different. So I am not out of that sorrow right now at the moment. It'll take me a little while to not cry on just to cry because it is deep and women suffer.
Okay. I have another question here, which is also for the readers, gents. It's about who are the readers? We've already said their names and the characters that they played here, but it's a question about, are you in a class together, and are you professionals? And the last word I can't make out, but if you want to answer rather quickly about what it is that you do in terms of performing. We can start with you, Deborah.
I teach theater at Southwest Tennessee Community College. Levi and I have an agent. We mainly do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm an actor. Been acting for the last 10 years. I went to college for 4 years, and since then I've done 4 movies, 3 with other people, and I've wrote, executive produced, and main acted in my own movie called Shooting Guard, which is on Tubi and Amazon.
I am primarily an actor as well. I also direct and write. I actually met Agapi on Shooting Guard. Yeah, I went to college for it about a decade ago now, which is scary to say, but working ever since.
Hi, I'm Yvette Rollins. I've just been outed today. I'm a closet case actress. So thank you for having me. Yeah, no, I've always been fond of acting. I've always been fond of the work. I've seen countless plays. I can't even tell you how many, and I just love the craft, and I also love being around this creativity.
Hi, everybody. My name is Darius. I go by D for short. I used to work in healthcare, and I started going by D because it was easier for the residents to say. So, yeah, I am a film school student. I'm about to graduate my writing and directing program. I have recently caught the acting bug, so I'm new to acting. Was a little nervous, so please forgive me. I enjoyed it though. So yeah, I am just so grateful and blessed to be around all these professional people and just beautiful spirits and minds. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Julia Anderson. I am a second-year PhD student in the Theaters and Performance Studies program at this lovely university. My field of research is in human sexuality and how that intersects with theater, and then also kind of how theater has sort of theater has been this kind of like history placeholder. A lot of theater is like a very specific point in time. And so it can tell a lot about the anthropology behind a culture or a society. And so my field of research is kind of how that intersects in our understanding of performance in everyday life.
My name is Tessa. I'm a freshman here at Boulder. I'm pursuing my bachelor's in music and musical theater. So I've been acting my whole life, but hopefully be a professional in about 4 years.
Okay, this question I'm going to have directed to you two first, and then see if there are other folk who would like to contribute to it. Will men and religion ever love women again? Why is this play still so true?
Good question. I think all of us have to be taught, you know. I think all of us have to be taught. I think that oftentimes men are not taught how to love women. And I think sometimes religion is not explained well enough and gone into well enough where people can discuss it and see what appears to be shortcomings and how things can be corrected today. And I think that's what a lot of it is. There's the word communication comes from a Greek word communicare, no, a Latin word, a Latin word communicare, which means to share. And I think we don't share enough of what we know and what we want to explain to other people and how we want to discuss things and learn from the sharing. I look at it like a big banquet table. You got all this food on the table.
Microphone to your mouth.
Oh, thank you. All this food on the table, but in order to get the food, you just can't walk down to the end. You ask somebody, pass me the peas, pass me this, and let me give you this. And I think so often we don't do that enough. We are in our silos, and we think we know what's right because we have been like this our whole lives, but we need to continue to share because at a certain point you may not agree with this person, but at least you've had the opportunity to talk to this person. You had an opportunity to be impacted by this person and they by you.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know that I have an answer for that, but I do kind of reiterate what I said before about theater being a mirror of our lives. And through feeling, experiencing a piece of theater like this, that's where empathy is born, and through empathy then maybe change can begin. So the fact that we keep seeing that is maybe because us humans have not been learning this lesson, we're not healing yet. So as long as this continues to be an issue, we will continue to see things. And you know, things that are relevant are things that really affect audiences, and that's the power of theater. Power, it's a vehicle of transformation. And so when we have live performers with a live audience, the energy and what happens, what's born in a theater, in typically a dark room, I like to think that it's the plants the seed for change to happen. And that's what makes a piece like this so powerful.
Okay. Two questions here, both for Levi, but I'm going to ask you to participate in this first one. Tell us about your writing process. Text, there we go. Tell us about your writing process and the inspiration for the play. Where will it be seen next?
Okay. My writing process, my writing process sometimes it differs with each play. You know how people say, oh, this child is different. Oh, this is my son. He's like this. Oh, but my daughter's like this. But my other son, oh, he's like, and each play is different. I'm sure you can pretty much say the same thing. So with this play, I had the idea and I started into it, and I decided I really need an outline because I want this information to come across clearly. Just kind of sidebar. In 1969, I walked onto a college campus. I was looking straight ahead, and for some reason I looked down. I looked down, I saw a flyer. Picked up the flyer said, if you need help, we can fly you to New York, and you could get back the same day. I'm like, what are they talking about? Fly you to New York? But it didn't have any, not a whole lot more information than that. Then I started thinking about it, wow, fly you, abortion? Maybe, yeah. And of course, that's what it was. And so that was 69. Little did I know in 1973, 4 years later, when I was getting ready to graduate, that was my freshman year, Roe versus Wade, okay? Then I started thinking about, I said, okay. So it was always kind of in the back of my mind. And then I had an uncle who had been to the war, and it's World War II, and kind of some issues based on going to the war. But anyway, I picked him up and took him home one day, and he said, you know what, you need to write, you're a writer, you need to write stories about our community. I said, okay. And so that came about. And so it all came together in 93, okay? 73, 83, 93, 20 years after, okay? And so I once it sat down, it started coming to me. And it just came when it came, and it was, in a sense, effortless. I'm sure you had those plays. You kind of grinded them out, you know, but this it flowed. It flowed, and so that's how this particular play came about.
Well, your one-man show.
Yes, but can I answer to this for a second? So I'm really curious about this because you said this flowed, you didn't do an outline. You did do an outline. Okay.
Normally I don't. Normally I do not do outlines. It comes to me, I make notes, but this one begged for an outline.
Well, I loved, like I said before, all the cleverly hidden hints that later show up. I mean, like, we see that she's doing something in the room in the back, and we kind of know what it is, but it doesn't go anywhere yet. And then it happens again, and it's just a preparation for the culmination of what happens at the end. So was that something that you planned purposely, or did it just kind of happen?
It kind of happened, but then there's always a time when you can make it happen better. You know, and I think that's what the outline did for me. It made me understand how much I had over here that may have been a little bit too much, and I needed to add something over here, and it helped me. Again, most of the shows that I write, no outline, it comes to me. Get up in the morning, I'll start working on it, and my best time to work is early in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then once the sun comes up, noise from the cars and all that, it's over. I can't really write.
It's great. So I do have a question about one thing that happened in the play that for me was left unanswered. I don't know if I missed it, but I read it before and then I heard it tonight. So there's all these different hints, but so Lonnie Mae and Mac have a conversation about that he rescued her and he did time in prison for something that she did. But we don't really know what it is. Like, did she kill someone? Like, we don't know what that was about, and it's such a big part of that climax.
Did anybody get that, what Lonnie Mae did?
I did.
You did? Okay. She actually killed a person who thought that she had set up infection in his wife, but she didn't do it. He came in with a knife and was going to kill her, and she ended up killing him. Mac took the rap for it and went to jail for her.
Broom Man reveals it. It may have been one of those moments when the mics weren't working as well as they should have, but Broom Man reveals that.
Yes, in the very beginning.
Yeah. And I also love the character of Broom Man being kind of like the Yoda, you know, the wise ally that is, he doesn't see, but he sees everything. So, 2 questions. Why did you plan on having that character be that wise guide? And also, how come he's always called Broom Man and never given a name? And also, the same for Old Lady. What was that choice about?
Excellent questions. First of all, Broom Man was kind of a Tiresias. Tiresias, of course, was an Oedipus Rex. And Tiresias was a wise guy, wise man, full of wisdom, but he was blind. Oedipus had eyes and couldn't see. Tiresias didn't have eyes but could see clearly. Okay. Now, the other question was, I'm sorry.
The other question was, why did you decide to just call him Broom Man and Old Lady versus giving them names?
Oftentimes in our neighborhoods, African American neighborhoods, especially way back when, you were called by what you were noted for. If you're a blind man, people call you blind man. And that's why sometimes May Catherine would call him blind man or broom man. He also sold brooms, so he was called Broom Man. And notice what Lonnie Mae tells Deidre. Deidre said, Broom Man. He said, what? I'm sorry, Mr. Broom Man. Because you gave people that respect, okay? And Old Lady, of course, and she was probably called that since she was a child. I'm sure you've heard people say, you know, that girl acts like an old lady. And then she keeps that name until she gets to be an old lady, and then she's really an old lady, you know? So that's why.
That's great. One of the things, may I just say, one of the things I loved about your play, and you all did such a beautiful job, it's such an atmospheric play, right? It all takes place in the salon, but you get to feel, couldn't you all see the salon in your mind's eye, right? You could see it. Did anybody see Pink, like Pink salon? Because I saw it as Pink. But, you know, the hair dryers and, you know, that whole thing, and where the windows were and coming in and out, but also the relationships. This play is so steeped in relationships that are so beautifully defined that we get to really know the characters, and we can't get to care about what's going on with the characters, so that later when we find out what happened between Paul and Jackie, it's just shocking because we care about this family and what's happening to them. I thought that was so beautifully done.
Thank you. And again, the actors did a great job. I don't know if one thing that happened in the beauty shop, it probably wasn't that clear, that you may not have picked up on when because Old Lady and May Catherine had the same roles. They were switching back and forth. May Catherine was under the dryer. Old Lady was talking about May Catherine, denigrating her. And so she'd wave to May Catherine under the dryer, and May Catherine would, yes, you're right. And then she'd say something else about her. She went down to so-and-so's house and so-and-so's shop, and she'd burn her hair out till she became bald-headed. Didn't you? Yes, I did, you know. So she can't hear.
Right. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So we have one more question here before we have to end this session. And I'd like for the guys to answer it. I'm going to save Deborah for a little bit. It's really for you. The question is, Lonnie Mae dreams and has hope for beauty, but also faces hard realities. She is so brave. What led her to not give up?
Me?
I wanted for you guys.
Oh.
What led Deborah to not give up?
What led?
Not Deborah.
Because Lonnie Mae came from a family of 16, really 17 children. She was one of 17 children. You don't give up easily when you come from a family that big and the obstacles you've been confronted with all your life. The play takes place in 1959. She came up from Sunflower County in Mississippi, same county that Fannie Lou Hamer came up from. So just the struggles keep you going. You can't give up. I mean, you face the obstacles, things happen, but you just keep going. You have faith. And that was the thing about the religion, that the very positive thing, because people held on for dear life. They learned it through the religion. They get together on Sundays and shout and cry and fall out on the floor, but they get up on Monday morning and go back to work. and it started all over again, but they had to hold on to something. They didn't have the luxury of giving up. Some people became alcoholics, some people became drug addicts, some people did this, some people may have ended up killing somebody or hurting somebody because the frustration was on them, but they did not give up.
We're at time. If you want to do a quick, nope. I want to thank,
something real quick?
really quickly.
Real quick. I just want to say something that I didn't hear, which is, why is it relevant that we are still talking about this today? And my friend Dr. Grace is here, who delivers babies all day and night long. I think the relevancy is that we still have people who have autonomy over our body, and most of them are men. And so I feel like I want to say thank you to you, Mr. Levi, for having the audacity to give women that power to take charge and control over their bodies.
What a perfect way to end. Thank you all very much for coming to it. And this is the end of our session.